Everyone loves showing their best work, the polished logo, the perfect mock-ups, the brand books that makes clients drool, but they don't show you the projects that almost ruined their business or the ones they were smart enough to turn down. Well, welcome to my anti-portfolio. I'm Deborah, a graphic and brand designer. I'm currently on a mission to build a successful creative business and sharing everything I learned along the way. Be looking at my anti-portfolio, the money I walked away from, the boundaries that saved my sanity, and how saying no actually changed my career and doubled my income. So you might be asking, what exactly is an anti-portfolio? Most designers show what they worked on. An anti-portfolio is the opposite. Your portfolio shows what you did, and the portfolio shows what you refused, and more importantly, why. It's the project to walk away from, the ones you politely declined, or the ones you stopped entertaining completely. Not because you are lazy, I promise, but because you finally choose alignment over inspiration. Every no is a shield protecting your time, energy, creativity, and future selves. Think of it this way: as your portfolio saying, I can do this, and your portfolio saying, I want to do that because I value my work and sanity. That's expert positioning right there. Experts create, amateurs take anything. And the portfolio, that's expert level creation. And I will share with you different case studies that shows this. First, let's talk about the tight deadline trap. This case study number 1. These are situations in which the client who needs design, who needs it yesterday, but takes 4 days to reply an email. There's a client who needed a rebrand in 48 hours for a huge opportunity. Sounds exciting, right? Except they took 4 days to reply to my messages. So I said no. Why? Because branding itself isn't fast food. It's a process, and accepting this would lead to burnout and a not so good result. So I've learned that my process is my product, and I don't serve half-baked. If you bypass the process, you lose the value. The time and process deserve respect. Then there's the situation of the spec work request. Like a client asked for 3 concept sketches before signing a contract. To cases like that, I usually say no. Professionals don't auction for free. It devalues the strategic thinking behind design. Look, would you tell a pilot to fly you for free before you pay? Of course not. If you want to see my skill, look at my portfolio or pay for a trial. Confidence your value. Attract clients who value your confidence. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk about the third scenario, which is like the moral mismatch vibe. Sometimes clients reach out to you and the check is really big, but the industry doesn't really align with you. You know, like a lucrative project in an industry you don't support. A project that doesn't align with your ethics. For example, alcohol brands, gambling, cigarette brands, something like that. Designing for like alcoholic products when that's not your lane, or that project you know that guilty conscience wants to sleep well at night, or you can't proudly say, oh, I did that. For cases like that, I say no. And I've discovered that your portfolio actually attracts more of what's in it. If you don't like the industry, don't take the check. Protect your creative energy. It's a finite resource. There's also the scope creep nightmare scenario, and these are situations in which the project started out as a simple logo and it turns into a 50-page brochure for the same price. Slowly, politely, clients squeeze everything into your included work. It's those small favors that turns out to be huge. And I say no because I like eating, I like to look good, I like to happily exist. Your time and effort is valuable and should be paid for. And these are scenarios that teach you big lessons, and which is why I now use contract or agreement and change order fees. And I mention to them, this is not part of what we initially agree on. That's why we have an agreement in place, we have a contract in place. While boundaries aren't me, they are just professional and they help to protect your sanity. If you are new to freelancing, I also created a video on red flag clients you need to avoid. Definitely check that out. When I stopped saying yes to every chaotic project, something weird happened. I had more time to perfect my craft, I had more energy to serve my good clients, and I had the clarity. And with this clarity, I've learned to improve my process and start attracting clients who were actually a good fit. It's important to know that being busy doesn't mean you are growing. Sometimes you are just tired. And if you are struggling with identifying red flag clients, I created a video on that, which you could definitely check. Now, how do you build your own anti-portfolio? I want you to ask yourself, what projects drains me the most? So for these times that I've been in this career, what projects drain me the most? What clients do I dread replying to? What type of work keeps me stuck? That list is your anti-portfolio. Growth isn't only about adding more. Sometimes it's about removing what no longer serves you. And to build your own boundaries, you have to first know your minimum project entry. That's the lowest amount or timeline you will accept. Step 2, create a red flag checklist. Maybe like no weekend emails, no free samples, or stuff like that. And step 3, you can turn those checklists into non-negotiable and communicate them clearly in your process. And also have like a polite no script. You can have that created, saved somewhere. You don't have to be rude. You can just say something like, I don't think I'm the best fit for this vision, but I recommend X. It's as simple as that. And you can also grab my polite refusal email template, which you can also use. Link in the description. So here is how you can say no professionally without burning bridges. Use the referral out method, which is more of like, I'm not the right fit, but try X. You can also use the budget gap bridge. I can't do this full scope for that, but I can offer a strategy section. And also stick to your onboarding scripts. Now, if you're a beginner, this whole saying no would definitely sound crazy, because right now your focus is getting your hands on all and any projects that comes your way, which is totally understandable. I've been there, done that, but there comes a point when you have so much work with little pay and you start questioning your career decisions. You constantly get tired, working like an elephant but earning like an ant. That's a sign you need to filter and level up. You might not be at a point to say no. I get it. Saying no to the wrong things make room for the perfect yes projects. My portfolio is better today because of the projects that aren't in it. If you want to build a business that lasts, you have to start being a partner. So tell me, what's that one red flag that makes you instantly decline a project? And also, if saying no is tricky for you, you can grab my polite refusal email template in the description. It's a lifesaver. If you find this helpful, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. I post weekly content on freelancing, branding, and building a design career with confidence and boundaries. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.